Yeah, so I'm going to speak in English because about more than 4,000 of our token buyers will be watching this video probably, and so I want them to understand how do we solve the Ethereum scalability problem. So what is the problem with the Ethereum scalability? Well, the problem is simple. The theoretical limit of the Ethereum network is exactly 15 transactions per second. That's not too much, as you probably know, and Visa processes 10,000 transactions per second. And that's a real problem because you can't build apps that use micropayments, because the transaction fees will be too high when compared with the transactions themselves. And also they will be too slow for such kind of system to work, to be really useful. And for example, the CryptoKitties, they broken the entire Ethereum network while running, and not only CryptoKitties, all the large ICOs, when the demand is high, it just floods the network and the transactions get really slow. So I want to talk a bit about what is the problem for Bitrewards, for our company, for our project, about this. So what is Bitrewards about? We have, our system consists of three parts. There are merchants on the left who are rewarding the users with our token, with our cryptocurrency based on the Ethereum, and the users then may use these tokens to buy some discounts in the store, or they may withdraw these tokens to their Ethereum wallet, to their personal wallet. That's basically how it works, so it's pretty simple. And so the problem is that the merchants can produce a really great number of transactions to reward their customers. So just when you buy something, if you have a large store, you may have thousands of purchases per day, and if you need to reward every customer with some cryptocurrency, you need to write this on the blockchain. You will pay a really high transaction fees every day, and it may work slow and can cause different problems for all the participants of the system. So, what is the theoretical solution for this kind of issue? This theoretical solution is the radar network. Hopefully it will be not theoretical but practical over some time. It's working, okay. So hopefully it will be not theoretical but working solution over some time, because it has been under development for, I believe, about 2 years, and it is still under development, and there are no certain plans about when the development of the radar network will finish. What is radar network about? Who knows about the radar network? Raise your hands. All right, practically nobody knows, but I think two persons know. That's great. So radar network is about setting up so-called payment channels between the participants of the system. So these payment channels are you are the user of the Ethereum network, and some other party is the user of the Ethereum network. And the payment channel is your private relation. So it is it allows you to transfer funds, to transfer tokens between you and your counterparty immediately and without any fee. So that's what payment channel is about. And radar network is a network of payment channels, in 2 words. But the problem is that it is still not working. And when it will emerge, it will solve our problem and problems of many other projects. But now it is just not working, it is still under development. So what is the alternative solution for our problem? The alternative solution is to put the data that is not required to be on the blockchain, to put it off-chain, to put it in a centralized software essentially. And that's what we are doing. So we just minimize the interaction with the blockchain in our software. So how it looks like? You remember this flowchart, and what is in this rectangle? It happens off-chain. So no token transfer on the Ethereum blockchain is being made until the user wants to withdraw their tokens out of the system or wants to refill their tokens in the system balance from the outside world. So what does that mean? Like about 90% of transactions or even more will happen off-chain, and it really solves our issue because because no fees for the off-chain transactions, and they are instant, and it solves the problem. What else can I say? Actually, we are building architecturally on a blockchain solution which do not depend on the Ethereum blockchain itself. So later, if we understand that some solution fits us better, that some blockchain fits us better, that it works faster and cheaper, we may switch to that blockchain and implement. This microphone is working not good. Implement an atomic token swap solution for exchange the tokens of our token holders to some new blockchain. And I want to say a bit more about this topic. About that, this is actually a semi-centralized approach, and this is what Neo blockchain does and EOS blockchain does. Any of you heard about Neo and EOS? No, raise your hands. Wow, yeah. That's not too much. There should be more people hearing about Neo and EOS, because Neo, it is like a Chinese Ethereum. It is a possible replacement for Ethereum made in China and really popular in China, and the Neo company is really doing great, and they raise a lot of money. And EOS is it is also an alternative for Ethereum they propose themselves. And the difference between Ethereum and Neo and EOS is that Neo and EOS, they can process thousands of transactions per second. So they are really faster than Ethereum. And how do they achieve it? They just made a semi-centralized system. What does that mean? Their system, like in Neo, there are only 12 nodes who are validating all the transactions, entire Neo blockchain. So there are 12 like super nodes, like master nodes, and so the same thing is in the EOS. So that's how they achieve such network throughput. And what we are doing, we are semi-centralizing our system to make it work, to make it cheap and fast. And so that's similar to Neo and EOS approach. And a couple more technical details about what problems may arise when you do it in this way, when every merchant has only like one common wallet for all the users of this merchant. It is about the identification of the incoming payments. So when somebody wants to refill their balance on the merchant like software, they send tokens, but they send tokens to the same address. So everybody uses the same address to refill the balance. And how to distinguish who is the actual owner of the tokens, right? So there are like two ways we've came up with, and the first way is that before you want to send tokens into the system, you should tell from which address they will arrive, and that's how the tokens will be identified in the system. And another way comes from ERC 723 standard. Anybody heard about it? 723? Oh no, not 723. 223 standard. Anybody heard about it? 223? No? Oh, a couple of people. Okay. So the ERC 223 person or standard allows to send data with the token transfer, and it is kind of magical because it allows to not just transfer some value, it allows to transfer value and data on the chain. And we use it, and this data that we transfer is the user identifier, which is used to the system is able to understand who is the owner of the tokens transferred inside this transaction. So that's all, I believe, and hopefully you have some questions about my English presentation. Yeah, would be glad to hear them. Thank you. No questions here? No? No one?
Наверное, на русском тоже можно задавать.
Да, пожалуйста, можете задавать на другом языке.
Hello. What
Yep.
is the progress from the previous few months, maybe, and on today?
Well, today, our roadmap says that we will present a fully working solution in May. And so that's true, we will present it in May. So we are working on this, and actually we will, the architecture is like fully planned and is being implemented. So the interaction with blockchain is being like implemented right now, and so our team is working on that. So everything is good actually, and we are on our roadmap, and we are happy with that. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so thank you.